Hey, this is Philip, and today's video is a little behind the scenes compilation and a studio tour showing some of the things that we make. Well, today's video is going to be a compilation made over a couple of attempts and tries to do this kind of a video to give a little bit of an idea of some of the things that we make and where we make them. It's the workbench here. A little messy. Workbench is messy mostly because there's always a work in progress, also because I have two boys. And this is the other end of that space with another workbench. So in this space, some things get manufactured, but also there's a lot of finishing that happens in here. This space would also get used more in the wintertime if it's too cold to be out in the main studio. So I got all kinds of things, works in progress going on, hiking sticks of all kinds. I like hiking sticks like this one. I'm always looking for interesting natural things. That's a natural twist in a tree. Another not quite so interesting, but it's a nice hiking stick, but yeah, it has a nice natural curve to it. Yeah, cutting boards, all kinds of wacky shapes. Yeah, I get into all kinds of shapes with my cutting boards. I like something that looks more natural. I try not to look like it's been machine made. I want it to be handmade. I like to do a lot of work with my hands, with actual hand tools, more so than using power tools. Power tools are, you know, to get us there quickly, but then the actual shaping and everything, I like to do that stuff by hand. With painting, same thing. All my paintings are done by hand right here, either in this space or more likely in the main studio. Okay, well, this is my main studio here. It's actually a little building that I have on my property outside of the house. It's separate from the house. So out here I have my own wood burning stove, the only heat that I have out here in case I get cold or if something needs to dry. So I've made two little rooms, and the first one is where I do all my oil paintings. That's my homemade easel back there. And yeah, I paint my oil paintings out here. And then the second room is my little makeshift wood shop. Yeah, so this is my workbench for various wood making projects. I make all my cutting boards that I do are made back here. Any wood projects I make back here. I move things around in my shop a lot. Don't always have a place for them. Here's the router table sitting out here. Also scroll saw. That is a big old antique scroll saw, actually. Nightstand from one of my furniture sets that I designed. That one's no longer in production. The building itself is basically the size of a one-stall garage. It's like 12 something by 28 feet long. And it's basically, it's a mini barn. You can bring it in with a truck, haul it away with a truck. It doesn't really look like a typical mini barn. I put a low slope roof on it, basically a flat roof, most people would call it. So the hiking sticks that we make and sell, some of that is harvested off of our own land. Some of it is harvested off of other land. And some of that is stock material that I buy. So when I do harvest material, I like to use saplings, and I like to get those from areas that are overgrown and need to be thinned out anyways. Or if somebody's clearing something, So one thing that we do, and it's mostly for fun, is we make our own jigs for fishing and tie some flies. We do sell some. It's not a lot. It's not a major thing for us. There's not a lot of profitability with it. I'm not always happy with ours, particularly mine. Maybe I'm just a little self-critical. I don't know. So yeah, we do make some jigs and flies here on our own homemade jig tying clamp. Okay, so here's our homemade jig clamp. It's just a bracket that I've twisted the end over and put two washers on it. And there's a bolt through, and you just clamp down by tightening a nut. Need a little help with some pliers, but yeah, so it's not a professional job, but then on the other hand, it was free. It was all materials that I had on hand. So we'll try to do this here. Now the bobbin, of course, is not homemade. So we'll get a little wrap on there. I like to get some different colors on sometimes. I have some here that glow. I like the bright colors. I tend to think that they attract more fish. We've had better success with brighter colors. Whites, yellows, a little bit of orange in there, some glowing stuff. Yeah, we've had better success with that. And then it's just a matter of wrapping. I don't like to put a ton of stuff on there. I get a few more long ones. And it's just a matter of tying it off. Kind of hard to do with the camera here in front. I like to tie it a couple times. And then just a matter of getting it out. Just loosen the nut. There we go. Homemade jig. I don't like a lot of fluff on the skirts. I usually make them something like this. I don't know that it's made a lot of difference, but sometimes we'll have more skirt on it than other times. I'm out in my other studio actually looking for some scraps that I can make my little mini cutting boards with. So I think this one will work, and there's a few more here that I think I can cut down. Now just take them inside and finish them. So this is another hiking stick that I'm working on. It's a survival stick, and what it is there's a top on it. It screws off. There's a space to go down inside and a space to go up into the cap as well. And on top of the cap there's a place cut out. We're going to put a compass in there. Anyway, this just screws on right like that. There's about 3 inches of storage down into the stick, and about that much 3 inches up into the cap as well. And you can stick some things in there. Made similar things to this before, and I'm not sure exactly what all I'm going to put on this one, but yeah, I do fun little projects like this as well. I have another interesting hiking stick here, a little bit on the smaller side, but it's made of a glue up, and it's ebony and cherry and walnut. So it's 3 woods. Ebony is the black wood, cherry is the sort of pinkish brownish wood, and then the dark brown is walnut. Yeah, it looks a little bit fancy for a hiking stick, so I've never really been sure what to do with it, but I think I'm going to just put some measurement markings on it, finish it up, get it ready, put a lanyard in it, and yeah. So on all my hiking sticks and wood projects that I'm doing, at least right now at the making of this video, the finish that I put on them is all a non-toxic oil finish that I use, and that just seals it, and they should be fine for many years. I don't use polyurethane mostly because of the chemicals. I worked in the furniture industry running a furniture business for about 13 years. And the people who are in smelling the fumes all the time of the urethanes and this and that, there is a very high rate of illnesses. And so I personally do not want to work with that all the time. I don't want to be in those fumes all the time. If you would buy a hiking stick and several years down the road or whenever, depends on usage, if you would notice that, you know, maybe it needs a little touch up, a little more oil on it, you just apply oil, reapply it. You can also fix it easier. You know, if you get a gash or something in it, you can sand it a little bit, just put a little oil over it and it's fine. You could use tung oil, linseed oil. I actually tend to use the Watco Butcher Block oil for just about everything. It keeps it fairly consistent. I'm usually using the same product. All right, we're going to make another one of those survival hiking sticks where the top twists off and there's a space inside. So do I make videos every week? I try to, actually. Sometimes I work at 2 at a time, sometimes 1 at a time. Sometimes I have extra footage and get a little bit ahead. But other times I'll get a little bit ahead and then have a current video that I'm working on that I like better. So I'll put that one on this week instead. So the YouTube project is new for me, but making videos is not. That's something that I've made a lot of how-to videos in the past for work in various different fields. Mostly you see me in these videos, but the whole family's here taking part in all of this, putting it together, and going places and doing things, having fun together. We try to find inexpensive, cheap, or free things that can be done recreationally. Well, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And if you'd like to receive notifications when we upload the next video, hit the notification bell. Thank you. See you on the next one.